Man, what it do, world? It's your minds and them file shot reporting on the Evermore Bamboozled Again News Network. And this joint will be titled Cutting Your Nose Despite Your Face. Again, I live in a rural area. I really don't be around people like that. And I heard somebody say on a video, unless, people are attempting to follow the ways of the Most High, it really ain't no sense in dealing with them. Because they're prone to being hacked. And that's what I'm saying on social media, right? So if y'all follow my channel, I talk, when I was working at the old job, and they had one of these moon ritual ceremonies. And typically, the night of the moon ritual ceremony, they be copacetic. But I would gather the staff up, and I'm like, yo, tomorrow or the day after, yo, it's going to be Looney Tunes in this camp, yo. And every time, yo, somebody wigging out or some slight mishap turn into some volcano of emotions and all that. I said, told y'all. So, okay, we're after the election. Okay, cool, fun, and dandy. You know what I mean? But through social media, right, I'm saying, I guess what they call it, the 4B movement, where women are renouncing men and whole and uh, shaving their heads and almost insinuating they just going to deal with each other. And what is that going to do? Like, what is the punish? Like this isn't well thought out. I could see maybe, I don't know, some more, when you had movements back in the 60s or in other times of freedom. What is that going to do? Like, and then, I seen black women, talking about, they want to see black men unalive now. That was reminiscent of when Kevin Samuels passed away. And then they surprised me. I stand corrected on this one. I've seen videos and clips where they attempting to guilt shame white women for voting for Trump. But again, like, I seen videos of Trump talking about, he's gonna try to go through Congress to say it's only two genders again and not try to influence, elementary school kids' sexuality and whatnot. It's like it's almost like it's so crazy in Babylon. Like, we're so dysfunctional that anything functional seems dysfunctional or traumatizing. Like, I've had issues, reprimanding my child previously, and I explained to the mother, I'm like, yo, hearing the word no or some rule, regulation, or some type of structure because she's not used to having it seems like the end of the world. What's this? I ain't never, you know what I'm saying? But this is just insane. Like, wow. Like, again, who started this? Where did they get this idea of group consciousness and say we're all gonna shave maybe through social media, maybe we all gonna shave our heads and we ain't gonna give up no box and this, that, and the third. I mean, it could be a good thing if, you take a step back to kind of work on yourself and, but like you're punishing men by not giving up box. That's part of the reason why we're in the situation now. The looseness of sexual liberation. So you might be actually doing yourself a great service, not even realizing it. You know what I mean? But it's just so crazy how they socially engineered us to be so far removed from just common sense that common sense is not like evil, good, good, evil, light, dark, dark, light. You know what I mean? But yo, this is what I was thinking about though, right? Now with the level of visceral and just hate that's now come forth, right? Because she lost the election. Could y'all imagine had she won? Cool, woo. Boy, it'd have been bonkers in the streets. Man, the club bit man. Boy, they might have gave away box, man. They mess around, went to the schools and just it been Bucky loose, yo. Oh, they'd have stunned it. Oh man, they'd have probably hit the streets naked. Absolutely naked. You know what I'm saying? They'd have probably been twerking on homeless folk and just uncouth to the utmost. You understand? This is cutting your nose to spite your face, and it's still not gonna get you what you want. Again, this goes back to practice acceptance. Okay, Lord, okay, whatever. Life carry on. And for those who are so say chosen, right? I just detail from an observative standpoint, but I ain't really. Now I attempt not to be spiritually indifferent, but societally, It's just crazy saying it, but don't none of it affect me none, because I don't want it to. You know what I mean? Then I have you all bed bug crazy. You don't even realize why. You all confused, listening to this foolishness, and people making these great articulations of chicanery. You know what I mean? And when you break it down to the molecule, they ain't said nothing about nothing. It's almost like they want, oh, it's crazy because it's just like they want Satan's system. They want chaos. They want tomfoolery. You know what I mean? Like, it's so crazy how, like, you know, when you, maybe you little and you kind of dream and, you know, you got, you know, the wife and the picket fence with the 2.5 kids. Do they even have these dreams anymore? Or is it just to be loose and, or just run amok? And this just parallels again or foreshadows what I saw on the job. You know what I mean? I already know you're going to do this dirt bone, Quisha. But look, just go about it like this way to mitigate the stress level on you. And they still wouldn't do it. They wanted to do the most reprehensible action that everybody faced, but then would get upset when somebody say something about what you did in their face. They're supposed to be against the rules. If there are no, like, if there were no speeding tickets, nobody would be scared to speed. Rules and regulations, you know, for the most part, are there to protect you from you. Now people talk about like defund the police and this, that, and the third. And yeah, the police, you know, woo woo woo. But you don't want to live in a world where it ain't none. You know what I mean? Because then you just have a Mad Max situation where, you know, the most degenerate or where, you know, those with the least amount of morality are actually kings. You know what I mean? Kind of how we see in the entertainment world, where everybody snitching, everybody telling. Like, it's so crazy. And I heard somebody say this, where they reprogrammed society to the point where the men who, you know, we would esteem like financially as alpha, like your robbers and so on and so forth, are now coming out that they're at the very least suspect, right? But the actual man, right? He's actually been rewired in a woman's mind to be unattractive or something to be fearful of. But it's these type of men who done gave you all the trauma. Yo, this is insane, Jack. Sometimes I grieve for Earth. I grieve for the children who growing up in this, man. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't imagine growing up, you know what I mean? And then I go to school, and then I got a class with some man dressed as a woman talking about all this crazy stuff, yo. My spidey sense was tingling back then. Granted, that wasn't happening. Man, I ain't going to no school, man. It's weird. And I can't even quantify it. Why am I learning this? I'm going to take a nap. Like, yo, for the life of me, if it be God will, I want to do like, I might be getting these videos on my channel about like people living off the grid and, you know, making homes out of in the ground, but them joints be laid out though. And then I just come in society, make money, or do whatever I gotta do, and just go back into harmoniousness. Because I'm very spiritually sensitive. Like, I can feel shit. That's why I really don't like being around large groups. Not out of paranoia, because I can feel like I ain't got no business here. And it could be a football game or any social gathering. Nah, man. I'd rather be by the beach with, you know, a few good folk and we chopping it up on the really reals. You know, like when you was a teenager and y'all sit on the car hood and look up at the stars and just talk for hours on end, and that was just so miraculous to you. You know what I mean? There's no substance to anything. Everything is everything got cut on it. You know what I mean? You know how you get the good coke or whatever, but then so many people have stepped on it. You just bond coke, but it don't do what you want it to do. But out of force of habit, you just keep doing it, even though it ain't really getting you what you want. Even in respect to these ladies who, I guess, are very vexed by Camilla losing, it's probably a blessing in disguise, because y'all ability to run amok would have destroyed y'all even further. From what I see with spiritual eyes, the average woman I encounter is already spiritually broken, whether she realizes it or not. You know what I mean? And then let's say hypothetically, okay, they don't, whatever grouping of women decide to shave their heads, and I seen the cancer page like, y'all are stupid. Like, I'm bald, because of circumstance. Why are y'all doing that? That's stupid. But it's just gonna, and I'll take it to this point, right? It'll further, like, the market will adjust, right? So, okay, let's say, a large demographic, white, black women start shaving their head, renounce men, da da da. You're just gonna have even more dudes trying to go overseas or get with the race of women who not operating like that, or, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Which leads me into this, and I got a hard way of, like, I'm in a conundrum, right? Intellectually, on this spiritual matter, right? Now, you got brothers on here such as Newbury who talk about polygyny, and it sounds good, right? But I still have questions about it. Like, how do you practice that here in captivity, legally, or without getting locked up, but you're still subject to the system. So she can still, put you on child support, alimony, whatever, even if you're practicing that, right? And she still hold the societal cards, right? You know what I mean? Okay, cool. I've never seen an example of that in the New Testament, right? You know what I mean? And then I was listening to the Fates and Gates man, and I like his channel. He make me think, and I agree with him spiritually. And this is my conundrum, right? He said and he gave examples of the Old and the New Testament of why we should be with our own people. Just like how segregation or desegregation was bad for us because it assimilated us into Babylonian culture. Hence, here we are now, right? So I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, spiritually, I agree with that. But it's slim pickings if you deal with your own, and I'm not the only brother feel like this. If, okay, I adhere to the law and I deal with only black women or women of the tribes of Israel, right? The field is burned. You know what I mean? So like, and then, okay, you're not supposed to deal with another because it's against the law, and then, like, your kids will be raised in their culture and da-da-da. But it puts brothers in a conundrum, especially if black women are raised the way they are, because let's say go get the white woman or the Asian woman or whoever woman, right? You damned if you do, you damned if you don't. Because like I said on here before, I know Muslim brothers from DC who done came down here to rural Maryland, and all of them are with white women, and they're all smiling. They're doing different activities they've never done in the city. They're having a better experience and they went that way, not because they like white women like that. They were almost funneled that way because of their negative experiences with black women being, not supportive or whatever the case may be, right? And these brothers haven't looked back. So I'm juggling between keeping the law and being wise. You know what I mean? And then, okay, the wild branch of people get grafted in. I get that. But how do you graft them people in unless, interracial marriage or like the Gentiles and so on and so forth? Like, that's kind of like the conundrum I'm in. Because actually, this is very sad in what I'm saying from the American woman. Like, I'm flabbergasted here. Like, and again, I'm not the only brother feel like this. You can hop on YouTube. It's a billion brothers on here talking about the same stuff. Maybe not from the spiritual lens I'm coming from. But as I attempt to be a solution-oriented individual, it seems as though there's no solution to be had and still be in right standing. Or I can follow, now of course you choose wisely, but I can follow the law unwisely. Or I can break the law and be practical and have a better experience, less stress. You know what I'm saying? So typically what I do is when I can't figure out the right way, I don't do nothing, yo. Which is very basic, because as a man, you're designed to desire a woman. You know what I'm saying? Especially ever more now, you're designed, I think men actually want families more than women want now, because the natural inclination have been flip-flopped. So men now see the value in family, and they want family. That's why they leaving and going or dating other racial women, and you know what I'm saying? Because they want to build something. They don't want to waste a whole bunch of time and then have it destroyed and then have you blamed for it, whether you did or didn't do something. Just like what we see with this election, where black men are, let's say, 6% of the population. And I've seen, I don't know how accurate the numbers are, where a lot of black men actually did vote for Kamala. So now we're being blamed for something we ain't got nothing to do with. Now they want us to, now it's not all of course, but now they want us to perish and they want police brutality, you know what I'm saying? But let's say hypothetically they had won, they'd act like they ain't know it. They got, just like on the job or in politics. Or once they get whatever, they forget all about you till they need you again. And then they've been stunting on you. You can't win. So now I'm at this point, I'm just sitting this out, Now I got the job and all that. And, I'll play the game how it go. But I'm darn there, I'm ready, I'm almost this close to saying, you know what? I'm going to figure this out, I'm going to stop paying all my bills. I don't care about no credit. Now I want to render to Caesar what's his, right? But I'm ready to find me some land somewhere, build me a log cabin, figure out how to fish with my hands, you know what I mean? Wrestle, you know what I mean? Wrestle a deer down, you know what I'm saying? And then cut his head off and wear it as a vest like King B from Martin. It's almost coming to this. I'm being a little extra, right? But there's a whole lot of truth in the joke, Like I said, it outside of my door and, my family and the few friends I got, that's, it's a symbiotic, relationship, give and take, on both ends. It ain't a whole lot for me to fool with out y'all. It ain't a whole lot for me to delve into. And I've tried it. Numerous industries, and my spirit don't agree. Unless I'm helping somebody or feeling like I'm having some type of impact in a positive way, like you ain't got to believe what I can believe. But I want to help inspire, put you on a path for you to find your own answers that work for you and yours. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like everybody has been so drunken with the wine of Babylon. It's almost like they got spiritual alcohol poisoning. And it's irreversible without long-term situation that would cause repentance. Like technically I wouldn't be where I'm at now, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, had I not, been stripped down bucky naked for an extended period of time to truly see the error of my ways and then have that purged out of me. Like you can, I shouldn't have did that, but then you still want to do it. You just got caught. You know what I mean? Like say you cheat or whatever on a good partner, right? And you might feel bad you got caught. You might feel bad that you hurt the person, but you still want to do it until you feel the total weight of your action for an extended period of time. And then if you get it again, I don't want to do that, No. You know what I'm saying? Most of my success is knowing what not to do rather than, always knowing what to do and not shooting myself in the foot. You know what I mean? That's why I'm able to move around out here in the land of harlotry. Because at this point, spiritually, harlots don't turn me on at all. I'm looking at depth and, substance, just genuine femininity. I can see a woman, let's say a white woman built like a backboard. And I'm like, damn, Joe. You know what I mean? Mind you, I can see Bone Quisha, stacked up like flapjacks. Matumbo. Because I already know the spirit that is inhabiting the vessel behind the physical vehicle that I'm perceiving. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And then on top of it, I really don't see a lot of black women who stand out. And I ain't talking about talking. I'm talking about, she carry herself different. Or she just has a different aura vibration about herself. Babylon hasn't put that black stuff on her like that stuff that got on Spider-Man. He had a hard time getting off. Or what's that movie, Venom? That symbiote got into him. You know what I'm saying? Now, like we see now, it'll manifest when it need to outwardly. But that joint is inside of him talking to him the whole time. That's what it seemed like this is. The alien symbiotic thing that got into, the modernized Babylonian woman. And now, because of circumstance, it's revealing itself for all to see and want to bite your head off. Now it needs to feed. Just like in the movie, it needs to feed on the souls of men. They were harvesting men's souls before this. They were just doing it more subvertly and covertly through, working them or leading them on or, setting them up or vexing them through the court system or whatever the case may be. Now that's taking too long. We want to eat your head now. Like I said, I know a plethora of brothers who had a negative dealing with a woman and never recovered. And that was 15, 20 years ago. They never got their mojo back. They never overcame it. It lashed all to them and created the root of bitterness like the word talk about. And now they're a shell of them former selves. You know what I mean? Praise the Most High, that never happened. And I had it happen a couple times. Well, I done had some women try to fade the kid. You understand me? And by the grace of the Most High, it never, the weapon form, it just didn't prosper. And then as we see, they'll try to fade you. And then when it don't work, they still mad with you. Like I'm just supposed to let you put me in the earth? That's why you can't reason with these folk. It's no reason. Ain't no talking to them. Like we could reach out to these sisters or whoever they may be about, just in empathy, why are you doing this to yourself? And, 4B and try to come with some type of compassion and intellectual whoop. That ain't gonna work. They too far gone. It's like seriously, it's like, I forgot that movie. I think it's Star Seed or something, where this alien gets off course and crash lands to Earth. And then his sole purpose while he's on Earth is to attempt to blend in to the best of his ability while finding, the components he needs for his ship so he can make it back home where stuff makes sense. And on that note, I'm going to holler at y'all.